Hello and welcome to this video where we'll work with roles and uses, and we'll create the database from scratch. So here this is a practical lecture where we'll code a lot, and you have seen the theoretical lecture already. So let's move directly to Visual Studio Code. Here I'll close down my previous, or it doesn't matter, we have a query here. So first of all, we'll use an appropriate role in order to create warehouse and databases. So I'll use this role, use role sysadmin. I'll actually do it with capital letters, sysadmin. So I'm using this role, and it's the sysadmin that is responsible for creating warehouse and databases. So create database, you will have the ice cream database, ice cream DB. So database ice cream DB successfully created. Create, we'll have a virtual warehouse. Create warehouse, we'll call it dev warehouse with warehouse size equals x small, auto suspend equals 60, auto resume equals true. We have initially suspended equals true, and we can have a comment as well. So this is a warehouse for development and analysis of databases. Okay, I'll run this one. Yes, it says SQL compilation error for me because the warehouse already exists. I've already created it before. However, you can, you probably don't. So when you have run this, it will work. So now I can choose the warehouse to use. I can pick here to choose which one, or I can use it, choose it by code. So use warehouse, dev warehouse. And we can see here that the dev warehouse is selected. So now I have this warehouse, and I'll use it to create table. So I'll create different types of tables, and I will actually copy paste this. So because you don't need to see me type this out. I will create a table called flavors. So this is the ice cream database, and in this ice cream database, I create the flavors table. It has a flavor ID, which is auto incrementing. So whenever I insert a new row, it will auto increment the ID. We have flavor name, we have price. And the flavor ID is a primary key. So similarly, I'll copy and paste from the lecture note here, and that will have a customers table. And here is some information about the customers. And this is the transaction table. So here we have foreign key. It references the customer, right? The customer ID. So it references this table customers and the customer ID. Similarly here, the flavor ID, the foreign key, it references flavors and flavor ID column. So in this way, we have foreign key relations between them. Yes, and else, otherwise I don't need to comment this anymore, since this is well-known SQL for you, I think. You feel free to read more on it if you're unsure. So now I will just run this. So I run this one. So it creates this table. and I run this one, it creates this table, and I run this one, it creates this table. Okay, now we have created our database, and before we populate it, I want to have appropriate roles in order to actually do it with the correct role. So I don't want to use a high level role to do everything. Instead, we'll go down to custom roles, and we will inherit the role privileges, as you've seen in the theoretical part of this the lectures. So in order to work with users and role management, we have a role called user admin. So use role user admin. Run this one, and actually maybe sometimes it could be a little bit difficult to know which role you're using, unless actually you can see it directly here, but you can also see it in code. So it's good to know both. So select current role. So this one shows that the current role is user admin. We can do select the current user to see which user we're working with now. And the user is Kokshan here. So now I will demo some privileges inheritance. So let's create a role. Create role, ice cream reader. Let's see, I should actually, because I already have this role, I will delete it. Drop role, ice cream reader. I'll just do some cleanup. Ice cream writer, ice cream analyst. Yes, so I've just done some cleanup here. However, you don't need to do that. So let's create a role. Create role, ice cream reader, and here we can do a comment. Able to read ice cream database. So this role is successfully created. I'll do similar here. I will do ice cream writer. And the ice cream writer, I wanted to be able to do CRUD operations. Want to do CRUD operations on ice cream database. So it's a create, update, and delete operations. So I run this one. So we have an ice cream reader role, we have an ice cream writer role. So I will do similar here with, oops, I copied this one again. And copying with Shift, Alt, and down button. So we have an ice cream analyst. Analyst here. Able to, let's say, we're analyzing, so able to create views on ice cream database like this. Okay, so now we have created the 3 roles. So in order to manage different grants to the roles, right, we need to grant different privileges. We should change the role. So user admin is not the correct role for doing that. Instead, we have to use the security admin. So I'll change to security admin. It's this role that manages the grants. So let's do some grant. So grant usage on database, grant usage on warehouse first, warehouse dev, warehouse to role ice cream reader. So now it has gotten this this grant, this privilege to use the warehouse, the dev warehouse. I say grant usage on the database. On database iScreenDB. Let's do like this to be consequent. To role ice cream reader, right? Like this. Okay, and now we can do this quite frequently actually. So show grants to role ice cream reader. And here we can see the roles that have been granted to this role. Or we can see the privileges that have been granted. So the privilege is usage here, usage on, granted on database and on warehouse, right? And it has been granted to the role. The role is called, the name of the role is ice cream reader. And it has been granted by the sysadmin. So this is how you should read this table. You have all the information that you need. Okay, however, so we have granted the warehouse usage and usage on the database. However, we want to also grant, let's see, we want to grant all the schemas to this reader role as well. So let's do that. Grant usage on all schemas in database iScreenDB to role ice cream reader. So it's allowed to work with all schemas. And yeah, one object's affected. I can actually run this again and see that, oh, well, we got the schema public also, which it has usage on. So ice cream reader now can work with the public also, public schema. Great. And also, this is interesting. I will copy this one, and instead of grant just usage, I will grant select now. Select on all tables in schema iScreenDB.public to this row. So note that first we granted usage on all schemas, and now we go into a specific schema and grant usage to the tables inside of this schema, right? So there's a distinction there. So I run this one. So now the tables in this schema is given to this role, and you see that 3 objects affected. Why? Yes, because we have 3 tables. We created 3 tables in the setup DB, right? And one more thing, we want to not just affect these tables, also the future tables that will be created in the schema. So I copy this one again, grant select on future tables in schema this dot public, and I run this one. So it means that all future schemas, all future tables that are created within this schema public will be given you will have the select statement, the select privilege for the ice cream reader. So it can use it. Okay, so we can check the grants now. So show grants to role ice cream reader, and we can see that now we have a lot of privileges. So we have select on the 3 tables, we have usage on the warehouse, we have usage on the schema, and we have usage on the database. That's perfect. So we can also check the show future grants. Grants in. Now we have to show the future grants in the schema. In the schema, icecreamdb.public. And then run this one. And we see that, oh yes, we have a privilege select. And it's given to the ice cream reader. So for the future grants. Great. Okay, so let's do some. Now we have worked with the reader role only. So we will grant role ice cream reader to role ice cream writer. This is interesting. Okay, so ice cream writer now should have the privileges that is the same as the ice cream reader. So we can show grants to role ice cream writer. I'll show this one. What has been granted? Well, on this role, ice cream reader has been granted to the role ice cream writer. So everything, all the privileges from the ice cream reader has been granted to ice cream writer. So we can do the selects in the ice cream reader writer. That's great, and we can also grant some additional. So we want to grant the CRUD operations, right? So grant insert, update, delete on all tables in schema icecreamdb dot public to role ice cream writer. Run this one. 3 objects affected. So in the schema, remember that we have 3 tables, right? So for those 3 tables, we have granted insert, update, and delete to the ice cream writer. And similarly, I'll copy this one. Insert, update, delete on future tables. On future tables in schema, this one, right? So run this. I will run this one, and statement executed successfully. Great. And we will also do like this. We want it to be able to create, right? Create tables. So grant create table on schema. So then we have the select, we have the read, we have the update here, we have the insert, insert and update. So we have read, update, and we have delete. We need to have the create also. So grant create table on schema. Grant create table on schema icecreamdb.public to role, which role? Ice cream writer, like this. So now let's see what we have. So show future grants in schema icecreamdb.public. So what can we do here? We can select, we can delete, we can insert, and we can update. We can show grants to role ice cream writer. And here we see that we have a lot of grants. So we have usage, So we have the reader role, we have the creator, create table, we have delete, insert, update. Let's see, we have yes, so we have these times 3. So we have delete, 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 we have insert, 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 update, 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 because we have 3 different tables here, right? So nothing strange about that. I was just a little bit confused why there was so many in the beginning. But nothing to be confused about. So we can, so now we want to, if we want to use this role now for example, I want to use role ice cream writer. If I run this one, access control error, that is because I don't have the access yet. I don't have the access to this this database or this role, and that's because this role hasn't been granted to my user. So if I look into the roles that I have here, I don't have this ice cream writer role. So what I can do is I need to grant this role. So grant role ice cream writer to user option, which is my user. So now if I copy this one and I run this one, yes, I can do it. Okay, now it's time for us to populate these tables with some data. So I'll start with using this role ice cream writer, and let's do like this. Use warehouse dev warehouse, which we created. So it should have this privilege through the role ice cream reader, right? So now it has this privilege to use usage on the dev warehouse. I want to use the schema ice cream db dot public. Yes, and it works. And note that it got this usage in granted before. So, however, I want to show that the create statement also works. So I will drop the tables. So drop table customers. I'll drop this one, and you see that okay, insufficient privileges. Yeah, because I didn't get the drop granted to me. So let's do it like this. I will use the role sysadmin, and with this role I can now drop these customers. And I will also drop table transactions and flavors. All right, I've already dropped it before. Okay. So now I'll just go back here to set up DB here. I'll copy this part. I'll copy this code here. Yes, exactly. I'll go back to here, paste it in, and we see the create table flavors. Note that we should, before we do that, we should actually change the role, because if I do select current role, you see that it doesn't work, and it has parentheses, and it's still a sysadmin, so I kind of cheat, right? So I will change the role. Use role ice cream writer. And now if I select current role, it's the ice cream writer role. Great, now I'm not cheating. So I will use this one and create the table. Flavors, it works. Create the table customers, it works. And let's see, flavors, customers already created. Transactions, right? It works. Great. And now let's insert some sample data. And this sample data, yes, I've gotten it from ChatGPT, so that you don't need to. So we don't need to type it out. We just got it, and in order to quickly put in some data to test it out. So I will run this one. 5 number rows created. We run this one. Inserted 3 rows. Run this one. 5 rows inserted. Great. Now we can do some select. So select star from flavors. So this table, I'll select from this one. And you see that, oh, the select statement works well because the reader role was granted to the writer role. So it works. We can do similar here. Copy this one. Select star from customers if we want. And this works as well. Okay, let's test out. We will use the role reader. Select role ice cream reader and run this one. So we can do select star from, let's see, from, yeah, which one did we also have? We had transactions. It works. It works. It can select. However, can we do an insert? We'll do an insert here to customers. We don't have sufficient privilege. We are insufficient privilege to operate on table customers. Perfect. Because the reader role don't have this privilege. It's the writer role that has it. Okay, with this, I want to thank you for watching the videos about uses and roles. This is a very, very important topic, and you should know about how to grant different privileges to different roles, so that we have something called principle of least privilege. So we don't want a role to have more privilege than it needs to perform its job. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.